Is 62 the best time to take Social Security? Find out now. So you want to retire and you're wanting to know, is 62 the new right time to take your Social Security? It's the earliest you can possibly take it, so is it going to be the best time? Well, if you're searching this and you're watching this video, you probably already know there's a lot of different questions around this, but I'm going to show you an example of what that looks like of taking at 62 versus waiting. But first, my name's Andy Young. I'm known as the Mountain Money Man, and I thank you for joining with that. I share videos every single week to be able to help you improve your walk on your own financial pathway. If you're wanting to know how you're doing on your own financial journey, there's a link down below where you can take our 90-second financial readiness quiz, and I'm happy to send you a video individually to see how you're doing and review that with you one-on-one. Now, let's get back to the Social Security question. So let's look at this together as an example. All right, so here we're going to look at this together as an example with this family. So we've got a couple folks that are 53 years old, just starting to get serious about retirement. Let's see what it looks like for them. Right now, as far as their income, they're both modest earners with that, $60,000 a year, and we're just estimating their Social Security based upon that work history with that. Savings so far that they've put back some money with that, they're putting around 6% away every single month from their check because they're getting a match with that. So that's some of what I've loaded in here for you. And then expenses, we're maintaining $5,000 a month of expenses now as well as into the future. And they've already got some money that's saved up for the future as well. So we've got to where each of them have a 401k of $200,000. So let's look at this and see what it looks like, the difference of taking Social Security at 62 versus waiting until full retirement age or even 70. What's really the impact for them? Now, why would we want to look at the difference of that? Well, when we really look at it, number one is health. Look at the difference of right now it's back to school time as I record this. So think about the difference of a 13-year-old going to school versus 18. It might seem like the 13-year-old feels like they're already 30, but really when we look at this developmentally, that there's a lot of changes just in our brain and what we're able to do, and then of course physically. So if we see that difference of 5 years progression from 13 to 18, we also sometimes see the regression when we're comparing the difference of 62 versus 67. I look even to my own parents with that, of the difference of 62 years old versus now 67. What really has happened for them when they're looking at their enjoyment of life, how much they're out being able to do things. So for you, it very well might be that if we can retire as early as possible, it gives you the most enjoyable years. I had one of my clients in the past that told me, listen, I want to be able to retire and enjoy those first few years as much as possible. We call them the go-go years. There's a reason we want you to be able to go out and enjoy yourself. So let's look and see really what does the math say? What does the math say the answer is with this? So we're going to go ahead here in our software and we're going to look at the difference of retirement, what really happens with that. So we can already see off the bat, 88% chance that our money lasts all the way until age 90 for each one of these folks. And that's even with building in an increased need for long-term care in the end with this. So let's compare that on the difference of if we were to retire early. So we're just looking at that right now as far as retiring early. And then I'm going to look at retiring as early as possible here with that, with their Social Security choice. So let's just see how much that changes it with that. So 88% drops to 55%. Makes a pretty substantial difference when we're looking at that additional, the additional spending of those years versus having the income that was coming in for that period of time. So now let's change that instead just to look at Social Security. We're going to change this back. So let's just look at the Social Security part of the equation. So if we took this as early as possible versus what's going to be the greatest, so retiring and taking it at 62 versus waiting all the way through until age 70, over your lifetime, it's $500,000 less that you would be taking by taking it early. But realistically, where is the break-even point? Where are we looking at it kind of crossing the line of how much we're going to have difference here? So let's look at all of these strategies and compare them. So we can see the optimal strategy is waiting until age 70. That's when the most is coming from Social Security. The optimization is purely looking at how do you get the most from Social Security, though. It's not taking into account how much you're having to draw down from your own personal assets. So if you're having to draw down from your own personal assets, that means that you're spending money that could pass on. Does your Social Security pass on to your heirs? Not really. A little bit could pass on to your spouse. If you're with a higher income earner, they're going to step up to receive the higher amount. So there's plus the difference to be able to get to yours. But nothing's going to pass on when both of you all are gone. But if you spend down your assets, those are dollars that could pass on to somebody else, an organization, or somebody that you care about. So let's look again at that difference. So as early as possible, you're getting 1.7, almost $1.8 million out of this versus waiting until full retirement, a little over $2 million, age 70, $2.3 million. So cumulative with that difference, again, you're looking at $500,000 difference. If we did this to where we said retiring at full retirement age, so retiring at 67 in this case, retiring at 67, it's $200,000 less, $233,000 versus waiting all the way until age 70. What could you do with that difference? Does it really make a difference for you? Well, all of these different times that we could take it, whether it's 62 to 65 to 67 to 70, the break-even point winds up being 81 years old typically, 80 to 81. So if you feel like you're going to live longer than that, yes, you could get more out of it by waiting until 70, the longest you possibly can. But if you take it earlier, that's money in your pocket, quicker, you're able to enjoy yourself. So all of it comes back to seeing what is the likelihood that you could actually retire, you could make it through all the ups and the downs of the market, and that you could have a plan in place that allows you to enjoy yourself. So if you find that you can enjoy yourself, you can have that walk-away freedom and do it as early as 62, by all means, do it. Don't wait. I see people every single day that they waited. They worked that one extra year just to try to get a little bit more, maybe to get a little bit more of their pension or a little bit more in Social Security. And really, what was the difference for them? The difference might be $200 by working an additional 2 years. Is that really going to make that big of a difference in your monthly life? It very well could if Social Security is a majority of your retirement income. But if you have other sources and other ways to be able to pay for that, look into it. Look at retiring at 62. If you want to know if that's the right time for you, like I said, down below is a link. You're more than welcome to be able to click that, answer a few questions. It's a 90-second quiz that I will send you an individual video and see how you're tracking on your own financial pathway. Well, that's going to do it for this week. I hope that this video finds you well, and I can't wait to see you again.